Hello folks, I'm just doing a couple of little jobs on the ZX10, keeping my mind occupied while I'm waiting for one of those phone calls. And you know what it's like, you either sit around worrying and shit like that, or you just find something to do, and I prefer to find something to do, which I can, drop if I have to. So what I've done today so far, he says, I've took that line off I made because I need to shorten it to about there, the O, so it will route nicely on the left hand side. And then I'm going to put the braid back on, and then I'll just, with the braid on and taped up, I'll cut it with a cutting wheel. That's about one of the best ways to do it. Instead of buggering about with tin snips, just do the hose and the braid at the same time. Just tape where you're going to cut it, and then we can refit the jubilees. I might have to go a size up to clear the braid, just so the jubilees are on there loose. And then I'm going to put some large heat shrink just over the, just like that much, say, over the end, just to tidy up the ends, because nobody's going to see these. I mean, they're going to be sat in, if I put the belly pan back on, they're going to be sat in the belly pan, nobody's going to see them. But when somebody does see them, they'll think, oh well, they've thought about it, what a crap job, why didn't they fit a good bridge? So the other job, which I'm going to do now, well, things aren't falling apart, is I need a bit of lightage. Got this from up my garage, one of them that, the adverts you see on the petrol pump are about £7. Yeah, because I need a bit of light for this, because what I'm going to do now, I've got you on a ridiculous clip mount which doesn't seem to work anywhere, but I can't find me with the mounts, is I'm going to this is the wire from the ZX1100 oil pressure sensor, and the other end of it is like this. This is the one from the ZX10, but the ZX10 one just doesn't reach. So we're just going to shorten that wire, then I'm going to use one of my solder joints, and they'll be good enough. They're weatherproof, and they can put up with quite a lot of hassle. They're very strong actually, probably as strong as a crimp easily. So that's what I'm going to do, but I've now got to find a way to mount you so you can see what's going off here. Good luck me. Right, so the tool I'm using is a combined wire snipper, crimper and stripper. It's supposed to be automatic. I've never had much success with these, to be honest, but you're supposed to shove your wire in there, and then it closes it, and it's supposed to strip it neatly. Depends on the gauge of wire, but here we go. So I'm going to snip it first. We don't need a lot of this wire. Snip, and then in theory, sort of how it works is this. It should, he says, grip the wire and then just strip the insulation off. You don't do a bad job, and it saves pissing around with craft knives and stuff like that, that's for sure. But it's a bit hit and miss sometimes. So we've got 2 wires. One. You can tell this is old wiring. It's going a touch stiff. There we go. 2. Now all we need to do is find the appropriate connector. It won't be that one. I think I'll go with the red. and then you just need a lighter or something like that. But basically you put each end in, so you give them a twist and then neaten them up a bit. I don't think I can get you any closer actually. Let me just try moving the camera so you're a bit closer. Glad to know you're now resting on top of an oil jug, so it's guaranteed to go wrong. I don't know how well this is lit. I've just got to turn the jug. I'm guessing where to aim the camera basically, but this is where we fit our solder joint, so I'm just twisting the ends just so they go in the tube nice and neatly, and just shove it through. And there's the solder band in the middle, which is where you want to aim your wires. There's no need to pre-twist the wires, and these are weather seals basically. The whole lot is shrink, like heat shrink. But we go in, make sure both the wires are by the solder like that, and then I've got it's basically just a hobby heat gun. This is used in modelling and what have you, but it's hot enough. As I'm only ever going to use it for wire and stuff, it's hot enough. There's no point getting one of them massive Bosch things. And we just give it a bit of see, that's crimping now, so it will bend. I just want to aim on the solder. As long as that solder runs and connects the two wires, will happen. The two wires don't have to be touching, but it will go. I mean, if it doesn't go with this heat gun, it will certainly go with you know, a fag lighter. But there's a point where you'll just see it melting. There you go, it's gone. I don't know how much the camera can see. I mean, I can see more. That wire did pull out a little bit, but it is connected with solder, and I've just got, you got to wait for this to cool now, and then we'll see if it's any good. I mean, if I turn the ignition on and I've got an oil pressure light, I know it's worked. So, oh God! Oh no, I finished my coffee. Right, where's my keys? Oh, my keys are over here because I've just bolted the grab rail up. Right, let's see if we've got an oil pressure light, which we do. So that's good. Right, the only other thing I was going to do is I've done the wiring for the external socket and what have you. Obviously I'm going to put the braid on that hose, and I'm going to put an uprated headlight bulb in the fairing, which is obviously a lot easier to do when the fairing's off, because access to the bulb is not brilliant. I've got an uprated bulb 50% brighter, because I thought the low beam on this was just tragic, so that's another little job to do. I know now why people say you don't need a Jubilee clip for this car style of fitting. I'm using my hose pliers, and while I'm twisting the hose, obviously I'm stretching it, and it is coming off, but it's putting up a bit of a battle. Anyway, you'll be pleased to know that today's earworm for our British viewers is Button Moon. Don't ask me why, because the other day it was the Hair Bear Bunch. So we'll crack on. that smell of rubber. Not a bad cut though, to be honest. Oh, feeling hot. Right, so we know that's about the length we want. Sorted. Now I've just got to sort the braid out. I should have said noise alert and wear your specs. Yeah, not bad. These frays you can sort of tidy it with like a nail clipper. But yeah, not bad, not brilliant. You know, it's kind of up to standard for us. Yes. Right. Heat shrink, Jubilee clips. Right, change of plan. I'm not going to go with braid. I didn't like the way it looked when it was finished, and I haven't got heat shrink big enough to neaten it up. So for me, for now, it's a bit too much hassle. But I've shortened the pipe, the length I wanted to shorten it to, and now I'm going to go and fit it on the bike. I've got the awkward end bolted in. And then now we're going to see if we're I've left that union loose. I've just got to blow a bit of crap out of it actually. Left it loose just in case I just need to tweak it. Well, it looks a bit, we're not that far off. I think we'll go with that and then we'll tighten the Jubilee up. Nice, but a little bit of crap in it, and I'll just get that out and I'll carry on. Thing on my knee, you lucky people. Anyway, before anybody asks, the copper washers have been re-annealed with Captain Blowtorch. And now I've put my 14mm down somewhere. Here we go. Do you like the sound of a ratchet? Right, that's that. It's not pulling on anything. And like I say, this is going to be hidden by the belly pan anyway, so right, we'll give it the click. I'll just quickly do this one because this ain't coming off again. I've said that before. I think that's tight enough. So there you go. It's not the neatest solution. It's not the blingiest solution, but it'll work. Now what I've got to do, tighten that up. And you know what time it is now, don't you? Electro ratchet time. Tight. That ain't going anywhere. So at least we've had 2 successful repairs today, and yeah, I've just got to wait for the line to come in so I can make it up, and then we can put the oil back in and give it a test fire. I don't think we'll get any leaks. I mean, I'm really surprised because this pipe is on these unions quite tight. I mean, I had to twist it whilst using the hose pliers to get it off. I couldn't pull it off because it's like a Chinese finger puzzle. It just gets tighter as you pull it. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we'll just get some like brake clean in there, get rid of this. I mean, that oil's going to burn off anyway. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, so that's where we are. Hello internet land. Hello everybody. Shut this door. I'm sorry this oil line saga is taking a while, but I've got tooth abscess and it's kept me up for 3 days now. I'm shattered. My head's just, you know what it's like when you get absolutely knackered? Your head's just all fuzzy, so still ain't made it. But dentist today, I've given in. I nearly got the pliers on it last night. Hopefully normal service resumed soon, but that's why there's been a delay. Oh, that went down the wrong hole. Footnote: men do know there's no such thing as the wrong hole. End of footnote. It's in. It's in. And got a brochure as well. That's where we got it from. Men in Motorsport. There you go. Yes, that'll give me some decent reading later. Let's have a flicker. I've got everything. Basically, anything you want to fit to a race car. There's your good British pages with all the shine on. Good. Hose is in. I'm going to take the braiding off. I'm not going to bother with the braiding. Cut it to length. Stick the unions on it. Stick a couple of jubilees on it. Fit it to the bike. Put the oil in the bike. Change the headlight bulb. And then I can start putting it back together again. So, we'll crack on then. Update. The Devil's Own Satanic Herd has shat on me once again. They sent me the wrong hose. I could swear, I'm not going to, because to be honest, down the line it could come in use for something else. So I'm going to keep it because I've still got a bit of the other hose left. Now that is an 8mm internal bore. That isn't virgin, been around the block a bit. That's 6mm. And if I dip the hose in boiling water long enough, I probably could ram it onto the fitting. I probably could get it to go on, but then I had a thought. So, put your seat belts on because you know where this is going. The routing of the ZX10 lines is obviously different. It interferes with the exhaust, or at least the left hand one does, if you sat on the bike. The right hand one, however, ow, just got my elbow on the door. The right hand one, however, I believe that sits like that under the bike. Well, it might actually go like that actually. I don't know, but I think the right hand one actually doesn't interfere. I think it sits like that because there's your rubber buffer. The right hand one I think actually routes correctly. It doesn't interfere with the exhaust. So I've had a thought, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I've watched Ronald Finger do his GPX 1000 RX, and his lines were awful. I mean, really bad. And basically, he wire wheeled these up, which is what I now plan to do. And he just got a spinny sparky maker and cut these crimps off. And there's just a normal rubber hose there. And if they're gonna, aside from rust, if they're gonna go, it's the rubber that's gonna go, purely through age. That's my plan. Cut that bit out, reinstall a new rubber part, a couple of where are they? Come on, you can see them, I can't. I've just had one in my hand. Yeah, that's probably not the best thing to say out loud, mate. Anyway, Jubilee clips, couple of Jubilee clips over there. Job done. So, for this hose, I'm going to attempt to repair the old hose. So first things first, I better wire wheel this so we can see what we're doing and just degrease it a bit. And then I don't know if I've got a little, I did have a little cut wheel on the Dremel, which would be ideal for that, but if not, I've got a big one already fitted to the big Sparky maker, and to be quite honest, it doesn't matter if I damage the rubber because I'm replacing it. Loud noise alert. That's a steel brush, and it's just knocking the worst of the rust off. There's a couple of suspect areas, but I don't, they're not leaking, at least I don't think they are. And then I'm going to redo it with a brass brush. So the steel brush is just to knock the worst off, and then I'll use a brass brush. So stand by for more noise alerts. Would help if my vice didn't do that. It comes undone occasionally. I only bolted it on so I could take it off if I needed to. Looking a bit better. Really, Jim? Turn it over, mate. There we go. Might just fast forward the next bit. Or you might want to go the old log and just, you know, do it a bit more. But basically, I just want to see if there's good metal underneath. There were a couple of places which were high spotted with rust, and they're okay. Because all I'm going to do is paint them. I'm going to get this section off. And be warned, I'm not good with those big spinny things. So hilarity for you, and unknown consequences for me. But basically, you're just going to straight down the middle of these clips, or these crimps, whatever you cramps, not cramps, Jim, crimps. Just go down there and then turn it over. Do it again. I'm going to try not to hit the pipe, because if we nick the pipe, yeah, we might have problems. So I'm going to hopefully stop before I nick the pipe. If I could have found my Dremel cutting wheel, which I had in my hand the other day, now can't find anywhere, I could have done a more steadier job on it. But that thing, you know what these things are like, set to chug and hope for the best. But this will get a coat of black enamel now. I'll just tape over the ends, because by the looks of it they've got some sort of like bushing or something in them. There is a distinct colour difference, and at first I thought it was like nylon or something like that, but I don't know. But yes, so I'm happy with how they've cleaned up. You might want to do a far better job, I'm sure you will, but they're good enough for me for a lick of paint. So right, next stage, hilarity. The big sparky, oh bye. I know what you're going to say. Jimmy should have had safety glasses on. Yes, I should have. There they are. I didn't. I'm a dick. Wear your safety glasses. I'm definitely going to wear them in the next bit. Good. Yeah. So nearly through. Screwdriver in that and it'll break. So I might need to just do the other side. Same again. I didn't catch the pipe there. You didn't see that bit. It's only, can't even feel it. But I might just see if I can get a big screwdriver in there and just split those off now. Nice. Yes, I might have to crimp that fitting a little bit with the vise. Can't eat a bagger. These are not the easiest soft jaws to clamp things to. They're very awkward. Right. Can you see better up there? Up there? Up there? I've got nothing to stand the camera on, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Basically, all I want to do is just split this, just widen this up a little bit. It's gone all wobbly now, so I'm just using just a little bit of leverage. Oh, there we go. We're spreading nicely. Oh, bollocks. Tell you what, this vice is fucking useless. But if you've seen the price of new decent vices, this one, gosh, my dad bought this. This is probably 40 years old, 50 years old. In fact, he's had it as long as I've known it. It's probably older than that. These might even pull off now because they are, for the most part, split. Got a little bit there. I don't want to go any further with the cutting wheel, obviously because I don't want to damage the pipe. See, that one turns now. Good hope. Yes, I wonder if I've got. Well, I know I've got one. I wonder if a little junior axle had just finished that last bit off. Of course, if I had the Dremel, you can be a bit more delicate with the Dremel. That thing, I'm like a gorilla throwing shit around basically. But yeah, see, if I go in for a little touch on that, I'm going to cut the pipe. I know what I'm like. What are you like, Jim? An arsehole. But you can see the rubber pipe underneath, how that's all the rubber, and the rubber will probably look fine under these. It's here where it gets in trouble. Rudely interrupted again. Basically, most of my relatives live in the street, or at least a lot of them do, and yeah, they visit most days, and when I visit my mum. So anyway, back on track. I've gone through the fittings, and now I can go wiggly wiggly look, and that's what the crimp is. There's your rubber, and you've got your springy bit, and then you've got that. That is cut all the way through. So in theory, I should be able to pull the ends out now. What I'm actually going to do though is I'm going to get a little pen knife, and I'm just going to cut the rubber hose a little bit. So now I've got to find my pen knife. Oh, knives. This side is proving to be a little bugger. It's cut all the way through the other side, but I think there's a barb on this side, on this end. Excuse me, because it won't fucking release. So with any luck, I can now split that off and get it out. Well, this side proved to be a git, but what's happened is it looks like sort of the rubber's bonded into the metal, and it just had a bit of better grip of it than what we thought. And that's the state of it underneath. But you can see this is what I was fearing. I haven't done this. That's how they go. Now probably me mucking about with it has made that worse, but I'm glad I can now repair it. I thought these ends were barbed, but they're not. But they're such a low pressure. A couple of small Jubilee clips, and they'll do the job. So that's the next job. Actually, the next job is I'm going to degrease these end bits and give them a coat of black engine enamel. Yes! The part up, remember to pick up the can of paint and not the gunk engine degreaser. This is why these aren't how-tos basically. Oh dear. That'll do for me. You know I'm not into cosmetics, it's tedious. So, we're in the shed, we're with the bike. and this is the updated plan F of the oil line routing. What I've done is used the first part, the original hard line, but I've turned it round, because when it was orientated in its old way, this hard part was about here, which would probably be okay, but I think that's a little, I don't know, a little close to the header. So I've turned it round so it brings it out to the frame rail, and then of course we can't use this bit because in its correct orientation, that's why you can't use the original lines, look, because it fouls the headers. But what we can do, I've still got another fitting left, is just do that, and I think that'll probably be the best option. Belly pan, I'm assuming, will clear it. If not, I won't run a belly pan. It's no biggie. Either that, or I'll, at some point, I'll just make up a complete rubber line so everything can be tucked in a bit better. But this is all the line of the correct gauge I've got. The other one's too small a gauge. So I think for now, Jubilee clip on that. I don't think that'll ever go anywhere. And a union there, and I think we're good. I'm topping the oil up now. About a litre stayed in the engine. I'm going by the measuring marks on the original jug that I poured all the oil back into. So I'm going to put the 3 litres in, and then we'll see where we are on the sight glass after we run the bike up, and then we'll just top up as necessary, but it should have the 4 litres in it. That's a I'd call that a success. I only wanted to check that it wasn't leaking, and I've got my face mask on because it's bloody cold. So yeah, I'd call that a success. No leaks.